Do you feel the vibes?
Hello everybody. Today I want to discuss the laws of chemical combination. As you know, when the chemical reaction takes place, then what happens? The reactants will be react and they will produce the products. For example, if we will take the magnesium, it will react with oxygen, then it will form magnesium oxide. So these two, magnesium and oxygen, are the reactants. Okay, and this one is the product. The new substance is formed after the reaction, that is known as product. So they do so according to the certain laws that are known as laws of chemical combination. These laws are of two types, mainly one, that is law of conservation of mass, conservation of mass. Okay, in this law, the mass of the reactant is equal to the mass of the product. It means the mass of the substance cannot be created and not destroyed. Okay, it will remain same. It means the mass of the reactant will remain same as the mass of the product. Okay, so first is law of conservation of mass, and second law is law of constant proportion. Constant proportion. We will discuss these two laws one by one. Okay. So first we will take the law of conservation of mass. How? I will just give this example and explanation of this law. Okay. So law of conservation of mass states that law of conservation of mass states that mass can neither be created and nor destroyed, and nor destroyed in a chemical reaction, in a chemical reaction, which means the mass, total mass of the reactants is equal to the total mass of the product. Okay. For example, if we will take the calcium carbonate, we will heat it, then it will form calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. So this one is the reactant and these are the products. If we will find out the mass of calcium carbonate, then it will be 100 gram. You can find out 40 plus carbon has 12 and 16 into 3. So it will be 100 gram. Okay. Now the mass of the reactant is 100 gram, and here 40 plus 16, it will be 56, and here it will be 12 plus 16 into 2, that will be 32, means 12 plus 32. So it will be 44. So if we will plus the 56 and 44, we will get 100. Okay. It shows that mass of the reactant is always equal to the mass of the product. Okay. That is 100 gram. So it is also 100 if we will plus the mass of these two products. So 100, and if we will see, there is also 100. So this law states that the mass can neither be created and nor destroyed during the chemical reaction. Okay, it means the total mass of the reactant is equal to the total mass of the product. Got it? So you should just remember it. Okay, now we can take the next law, that is law of constant proportion. The law of constant proportion, also known as the law of definite proportion or law of constant composition. Okay, and it was given by the Prost in 1799. He analyzed the chemical composition of a large number of compounds and came to the conclusion that the proportion of each element in a compound is fixed or constant. Okay, and it will be based on these proportions. He observed and gave this law that was known as that is known as the law of constant proportion. So according to the law of constant proportions, what's happened, all pure samples of the pure chemical compound contains the same elements combined in the same proportion by mass. Okay, and the law also we can say that the law can also be stated as follows, that a chemical compound always has the same fixed composition by weight. Okay, so for example, if we will take the carbon, it will combine with oxygen and form the carbon dioxide. So if we will take here, carbon has 12 gram, okay, and oxygen 16 into 2, so it will be 32. Okay, 12 ratio 32. If you will cut it, then what will come? 2 6 ja, 2 1 ja, 2 6 ja, then 2 3 ja, 2 8 ja. Here 16 is there na, so 2 3 ja 32 is there. Okay, so 2 1 ja and 2 6 ja 12. Okay, it's all right then. Then 3 ratio 8 will come. Okay, so that will be constant every time. For that, proportion will be remain constant. So CO2 is formed by the 3 ratio 8. Or we can take another example. For example, ammonia NH3. So this compound has always constant proportion and CO2 has always constant proportion. So NH3, if we will take NH3, then 14 plus 3. Okay, 14 ratio 3. So that will be the ratio, that ratio remains constant. If we will take another example, for example, water H2O. Okay, so 2 ratio here 16, 2 1 ja 2 8 ja, so 1 ratio 8. So that is fixed ratio. 1 ratio 8 is the ratio for the water. The compound contains the hydrogen and oxygen. These are the elements which are present into it. So these have the fixed ratio of that compound. Okay, so we can say that according to the law of constant proportions, all pure samples of the same chemical compound, as I have told you that elements and compounds are pure samples. Okay, so chemical compound contains the same elements combined in the same proportions by mass. Okay, so these are combined in same proportion by mass. Every time if the carbon dioxide is formed anywhere, then it has same proportion. in any reaction carbon dioxide is formed, that remains the same proportion. Okay. So, after that I want to discuss the numericals that are based on the, that is law of constant proportion and law of conservation of mass, that I want to discuss. Okay, the problems which are based on this law. Okay, so let us write the problems or numericals which are based on this law. First law, that law of conservation of mass, and second law, the law of constant proportion. Okay, let us discuss that numerical problems or numericals. Okay, and I think 1, 2 numericals are also present in the exercise also. So, one question is here, what weight of barium chloride, that numericals you can write based on law of conservation of mass. Conservation of mass means which type of questions will come, that will be based on the law of conservation of mass. Okay. So, first question is here, what weight of barium chloride, question 1, what weight of barium chloride, what weight of barium chloride will react with, will react with 2.36 gram of 2.36 gram of barium, 2.36 gram of sodium sulfate, sorry, not barium chloride, it will be sodium sulfate, 2.36 gram of sodium sulfate, in solution, so as in solution, so as to produce 3 point, so as to produce 3.88 gram, 3.88 gram of barium chloride, sorry, barium sulfate and 1.94 gram of sodium chloride in solution. Sodium chloride in solution. Okay. So, I think this is the famous reaction. This reaction is precipitation reaction or double displacement reaction. Okay. So, the chemical reaction that is taking place, that I want to write, barium chloride will react with sodium sulfate. So, barium chloride BaCl2, okay, it will react with sodium sulfate means Na2SO4, it will form, produce means it will form barium sulfate means BaSO4 plus sodium chloride, that is NaCl. Okay. So, you can balance it Na is 2, so you can write the 2. Cl2 is the, now it's balanced. Okay, so this is barium chloride. You can write here barium chloride. This is sodium sulfate, so you can write sodium sulfate. Okay, and this is barium sulfate, and this is sodium chloride, sodium chloride. Now you can write the weight also. What is the weight? What is the weight is given? Yes, you know, this barium chloride is formed. This is PPT. So you can put one arrow like that. This shows it is an PPT. PPT is the precipitate. Precipitate is the insoluble substance that is formed during the reaction. So that's why this is also known as precipitation reaction. Okay, it's very famous reaction that will come in the next year also. In 10th standard you should learn that. Okay, now so that I told you these are the reactants and these are the products. After arrow these substances are formed, these are the products. You can write the products, and these are the, before the reaction, these are reactants. Okay, so these are the products and these are the reactants. Now what you will do, you will write the mass of reactant. Okay, because I have told you that according to the law of conservation of mass, the mass of product is equal to the mass of reactants, or you can write the mass of reactant is always equal to the mass of product. So you can write the mass of reactant is equal to the, have you written? If you are not right, please pause the video and write this question and solve it. Solve it now. Okay. So I will write, I have already written this reaction. You will write this reaction and write the chemical name of all these substances. I am not rubbing now. Okay. So first you should write it. Now what I will do, I will write the mass of reactants equals to mass of reactants equal to the mass of products. Okay, because the mass of reactant is equal to the mass of product. There the mass can neither be created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction. It will remain same. Okay, so let us write the mass of reactant is equal to the mass of the product. Okay, and let us write the main reactants mass. What is given in the question? I think the question contains what weight of the barium chloride will be react. So that barium chloride weight we have to find out. Okay, so first we will write the mass of reactants. We'll write first mass of reactants. What are the reactants mainly? I have told you barium chloride and sodium sulfate. These are the reactants. So you can write that mass of barium chloride plus mass of this, mass of sodium sulfate. So you can write the mass of barium chloride BaCl2 plus mass of sodium sulfate Na2SO4. Okay, and next you can take the mass of these two, that is given. I think mass of barium chloride is not given, that we have to find out. Okay, so let us write the mass of products also, and here products are barium sulfate and sodium chloride. First of all we will write the A is small. Okay, we will write the given value. What is given value? Mass of BaCl2, that is mass of BaCl2 is not given. plus what is given? Next, mass of Na2SO4 given. So what is that mass? I think mass is 2.36. Okay, so you can write here, you can write plus 2.36 gram, you can write here. Now next you can take the mass of products. Okay, that is already given, I think. So mass of products equals to mass of barium sulfate plus mass of sodium chloride, that is NaCl. Okay, now write the value of these. I think mass of barium sulfate is given here, that is 3.88. So 3.88 gram plus next mass is given, that is given mass of NaCl 1.94 gram. So you can write 1.94 gram. Okay, now what will happen? It will come 5.82 gram. So total mass becomes 5.82 gram. Okay, now we can put the values and just find out the total, or find out the mass of BaCl2. So write again. Okay, what will write? We will write total mass of reactant equals to total mass of product. So write the formula: total mass of reactants is equal to total mass of the products. Total mass of the products. Okay, I think reactants has given the mass, that will be this one, that we have not done. We just I have rubbed that. Now we can write the mass of reactant. So what is reactant? BaCl2 is a reactant. So what we will write? We will write mass of BaCl2 plus next mass of sodium sulfate is given, that is I think 2.36. Okay, so 2.36 equals to 5. That will come the combination of the product, total mass of the combination of product, that is 5.82. So 5.82 gram. Now mass of BaCl2, mass of BaCl2 equals to what happens? That becomes minus. Okay, so 5.82 gram minus 2.36 gram. Okay, then the mass of BaCl2 will come 3.46 gram. 3.46 gram. So mass of BaCl2. So we will get the mass of BaCl2 by this method. As we know, the total mass of the reactant is always equal to the total mass of the product. So that mass of reactant and product we will see separately. We will write the sum of the total mass of the reactant, and next we will write the sum of the total mass of the product. Then we will total them. Then BaCl2 mass we have to find out, and other mass is given. Given mass we will put, and if this value will move towards, and this will be here, we have to find out the mass of BaCl2, then this will move towards that side, so it will be minus from this value. okay, and we will get 3.46 gram. So that type of numerical will come. I think one or two numericals are given in your book that you have to solve it. Okay, I will give you in the homework. Now next we can solve the numericals that will be based on the mass of constant proportion. So let us take the another example. Okay, that will be based on the law of constant proportion. Now next numerical is based on the law of constant proportion. In this numerical, 1.375 gram of copper oxide gave 1.098 gram of copper, and when it will be reduced in current of hydrogen. In another experiment, 1.476 gram of cupric oxide, that is also copper oxide, okay, that gave 1.179 gram of copper on reduction, and it shows that these results are in agreement with the law of definite proportion. That we have to show it. How this law will be show that this numerical will be based on the law of constant proportion. How it will be statified, how it will be stated. Okay, so have you written this question? Please write it, then I will rub it. And before that we can write the weight of copper oxide taken. So you can write weight of CuO taken equals to weight, that is how much weight is there? 1.375 gram. 1.375 gram. So you can write 1.375 gram. Okay. Now weight of copper. So you can write weight of copper, that is 1.098. 1.098 gram, that is weight of copper. Okay, that copper will be produced by it. For example, if we will take it, then copper oxide will give the copper, so that will be reduced and give the copper. It means the reaction is like that, CuO, it will be reduced to Cu plus O2. Okay, so no need of write the reaction, but you should aware about it, that reduction reaction is taking place. Copper oxide is reduced into copper. Okay, now we will solve this question. So we have written the given values, that is weight of copper oxide. Okay, now we will write the formula for that, percentage of copper. How we will find out? Percentage of copper equals to weight of copper upon weight of copper oxide. So weight of copper upon weight of copper oxide. Okay, weight of copper oxide into 100. Okay, now put the value. The given value is here, weight of copper is here 1.098 gram upon weight of copper oxide 1.375 gram into 100. Okay, so these are on same place, 1 2 3 1 2 3 value. So you can just remove the decimals, and that answer becomes 79.86. 79.86 by dividing it. Now we should find out the percentage of oxygen. Okay, how we'll find out percentage of oxygen? As I have told you that the reaction is CuO reduced. Okay, CuO, it will be reduced into copper and oxygen. Okay, so we have to find out the percentage of oxygen also. So percentage of oxygen equals to how much percentage of oxygen is there? That will be 100 minus this, because this one is the total 100. So 100 minus 79.86 gram. So we will get the 20.14. So this is the percentage of oxygen. This is in the all values are in the first experiment. Now in second experiment or in second case, what we will see, the value becomes the different. So we should put these values, but the reaction will remain same, because the copper oxide will be reduced into the copper. It means reduction reaction is taking place. It will be reduced into copper and oxygen. Okay, so second experiment you can write. Second experiment, second experiment, you can write the second experiment. What is given in the second experiment? In second experiment, the weight of copper taken is 1.476. So weight of copper oxide taken equals to 1.476 gram, and weight of copper produced equals to, it is given I think 1.179 gram. Okay, now next we should find out the percentage of copper. That is also same, percentage of copper, percent of copper, or Cu equals to weight of copper upon weight of copper oxide into 100. Now put the values. That value is, for copper it's 1.179 upon 1.476 into 100. Same 3, after you can remove this, okay, and divide it, then our value is 79.89%. 79.89% will come. Okay. Percent will come. Now we can find out the weight of oxygen. Now find out the weight of oxygen. How you will find out weight of oxygen? So write that percent of oxygen. So you can write percent of oxygen. Percent of oxygen equals to 100 minus 79.89. Okay, so our percent will come 20.11%. 20.11%. It shows that practically both the percents are nearly same, that is 20.11 will come, and last time our percent will come, that was I think 20.14. Okay, so both the percentage practically both are same. So it shows the law of constant proportion. It means that the compound has fixed proportion. Got it? So this shows that law of constant proportion. So that type of numerical will came, and you can solve these numerically easily.
Alright.